Hi. It has been a busy month and a half for me. At first I was busy with writing Simulacrum Hatred, but then I got a part-time job and I've been busy studying the Flask framework for Python, as well as other kinds of web development for it. But now I'm good, and I have some time to return to what I love, which is functional programming in F#. In our previous videos, we've been working on the Helix application. Originally, I intended to use it to write Simulacrum Hatred, but then once I started writing and using ChatGPT, it was a lot easier to just do it all in Google Docs. So I think that application is a bust. It turns out it's a lot harder to implement it than I thought it would be. Right now it's at just one of the files is at 800 lines of code. I only have a rudimentary functionality, which is a bit way too much. So I'm going to leave that project aside for now. It's a good enough tutorial on how to do node-based UIs, but I'm not sure it's worth doing a fully fledged application just for that. Instead, it does make sense to use Google Docs. But even if we do that, we have a problem. This is the Google Docs document that I've been using to write the Simulacrum Hatred chapters. As you can see, it has illustrations, it has text, some more illustrations, and this looks fine. The text isn't really squished here, and we'd want it to be like that in the downloaded file. In order to get it to our hard drive, we have to go to the download and then download it as a zipped web page. I've started the download and this should finish in a few minutes. I'll pause here for a bit. And it has finished downloading. I'll open it in the folder where it has downloaded, then I'll cut it. Then I'll go to some kind of folder, in this case here, and paste it. Then we'll extract this zip file. And if we open it in our browser, we'll see what the problem is immediately. As you can see, the text is very much squished. The problem with this is that because in the styles it says that the max width should be only 468 pixels. And the only way to fix it is to open the file by hand in the editor and edit it manually. I'll show you how it was done. I already covered this in one of my other videos. For example, we'll open it in VS Code. As you can see, it's very much squished together. But if we go into the styles, style, oh yeah, here's the style tag. We'll adjust it a little bit by hand, just so you can see what is happening. Now you can see what the problem is here. Here the max width is set to 468 points or pixels. We'll change this to 1080. We'll also get rid of padding. And if we save this and then open it again, you can see now the text is much better formatted. It is much wider, and this would be a lot easier for the reader to read. And what I want to do in this video is try to make a program that can do what I've just done by hand automatically. We'll use a HTML parser library. It can also be used for scraping, and then we'll open this zip, open the HTML file using that HTML parsing library, edit it, and then put everything back into the zip file. One other thing, if we look at these images, okay, this is image 21. All these images in the images folder are out of order, and this is really annoying. The first image has nothing to do with the first image in the document. Neither does the second one. And this is actually a problem. If for example, you want to take all of these images and upload them in the correct order to something like Imgur or another image hosting site. So we'll also do that as well. Previously I had a Python script that did this kind of thing, but this time I'll do it all using F#. And this should be quite fun. I've been really missing a nice and easy video like this. The Helix project was very long. Well, let's get started with this. First we'll look for a parsing library. HTML parser .NET. The library that we are going to use I actually found in this very Stack Overflow answer. For some reason this question is closed, but that's the usual thing for Stack Overflow. It closes a bit it's a bit too anal. Instead of it tries to stay on topic when it should be including the information that would be useful instead. We'll go to this, and this is the library that we will be using. It's actually used for web scraping. Then, okay. First, I'll show you how you can get this library in an F# script. I've already started the project, as you can see here. We have this script file, and in right there, I already did a bit of work previously. We'll erase this. Actually, we'll just leave the text, but get rid of everything else. And if in a script file you put a reference to it like this, with a -r, I'm not sure what this is, with a #r, NuGet HTML agility pack, the F# script will actually download the package on its own. The only thing when you just load the project, you see a bit of red, and you only have to wait for example, 10 seconds for the package to finish downloading in the background. Now we have this, and we'll go through the documentation. Okay, it seems like it has a ChatGPT integrated into it, so we'll ask it a question. For example, how can I edit a CSS style in a HTML document? Unfortunately, this isn't good. What we need to do is somehow edit the class itself. Because if we look at what we have, you'll see that this is a top level style tag, and we have to go into C5 and edit it directly. We don't, instead of editing the individual HTML elements. I have to admit that this kind of documentation is pretty amazing. How do I... Can I follow up on this question? That's it. It messed up. It's not answering on how I can edit it in using the HTML agility pack. Oh, this is pretty interesting. This could work. Okay, let's go give this a try. Okay. Actually, let me just bring back what I had previously. It seems it's overloaded to load the HTML from string. This is just for it to load it from file. Okay, this is pretty similar. We'll use this to load it from the zip file, most likely. Then we need this. We'll add the head node here, head. Style. C5 max width 468 pt, padding 72. Was it like this? It was pt. Okay. pt. Okay, let's go to the head. We'll just change the names a bit so it matches what we have here in the variables. Then we'll select a single node, which is the head. And then we'll select a single node, which is the style. Oh, this makes sense. Let's try printing out the style. Style node. Printfn a. Oh, now let's try running this. I'm pressing Shift Enter here. Let's just try this print statement. Yeah, it's just printing the type of the node, which is not good. Instead, let's try the outer HTML to see if that works. Oh, great. Yeah, that prints out the style node in its entirety. Let's try the inner HTML. That should print out just the style. Yeah, great. What we need to do is edit this. Now, there are various ways we can do this that are more or less complicated, but the easiest way that I can think of to just edit the style is to do this. We'll go in here. We have the C5 here. We'll copy it. Then let's go put it in a string. And this should be in fact enough. Let's try running it all again. We'll just, yeah, something like this. Now what we need to do is let's print it out in its entirety once more. Header node, actually HTML doc. Let's print this out. And as you can see, it inserted the style into the particular node. Yeah, the only thing that's really problematic is that if you have multiple styles like this, for example, let's try C1, something like font size 2em. If we do something like this, we'll run just a part of it and print everything out. As you can see, it's as we have it originally, but if we execute this part and print it all out again, yeah, it erased the C1 style. So you have to find a way to just edit the C5 style. Let us think, how could we do that? Yeah, one way we could do this is to just replace everything. I mean, to use this kind of replace operation. Let's go with this approach. We can either do it like this, or yeah, we can do something like this. In HTML, replace. We'll run it all again. Now let's see what happens. It replaced nothing, unfortunately. Why not? Okay, I figured it out. The reason why nothing is changing is because we forgot to assign it to a string. For some reason, my brain completely forgot that this is not a mutable operation. I thought the inner HTML is a string and not a property not some kind of special class that allows me to change it. So let's do it like this. If you do it like this now, yeah, as you can see now this has changed, and this is actually a good enough solution. But let's do it a bit more fancy. Instead of doing this dumb replace, what we could do is bring in an CSS parser, CSS another one. In one of our previous videos, we've been looking into CSS parsers, and I'm not sure whether it has been this one. It could have been ExCSS. Okay, what's the name of the package on NuGet? ExCSS. Okay, okay. We'll add it to the list of the packages. R NuGet ExCSS. Now we want to be doing this instead. Let's make use of the parser. New style sheet parser. Okay, let's do it. Let parser open ExCSS. No doubt we have to do this. Then style sheet parser. Oh, then yeah, we don't have to do anything here. We just have to parse it. Parser parse. Okay, let's sheet parser parse style load inner HTML. We'll run it all. Let's see what it says when we do the sheet. How does it go? To CSS. Okay, I see. Let's try this. Yeah, if we go, this is how we converted back to CSS. But now we have to edit the C5 attribute, or what was it called? CSS property. Sheet. Okay, style rule. Okay, insert before. Remove at, insert, add. Can I find the rule somehow? For example, maybe C5. No. Let me pause it just for a bit. Okay, here's what we are going to do. For rule in do, then if a rule is it selector text. Actually, let's print all the selector text first. Print fn a. Oh yeah, C1, C5. Then we can just do now we can just edit this. Let's edit this a bit. How can we access a particular attribute of CSS style? Let's go back to the selector text, yields some class, color, rule, style, color. Okay, yeah. So we have to do rule, style, max width. Oh, this is great. Should this be an, yeah, this should be a string as expected. And rule, style, padding. This should this be a null? Maybe. I think this should be a null rather than, strictly speaking, an empty string. This will most likely have the effect of removing it from the style. Then let's print it out. Rule. Let's add a bit more, something like background color. Background color. What was the background color? rule. Rule to CSS. Printfn a. Now let's just run this again. Okay, great. Now this edits everything properly, and as you can see, the padding is missing. If we tried doing it like this, what would happen? Yeah, it still wouldn't be there, so it doesn't matter either way. Okay. Now, if we try converting the styles sheet to CSS again, we have exactly what we need. Now, style node sheet to CSS, and this way of doing things would be very robust. Another way we could do this is, for example, to do it in a functional manner. Sheet style rules. This is sick. Find. And then, for example, we could okay, let's bind it to a variable rule. We'll didn't it. Okay, and then now let's see whether this works. It's really annoying that it selects everything from bottom to top instead from top to bottom. Let's run this, then we'll print it. Yeah, wonderful. If we print out the whole document now, yeah, what we have is this. I'm honestly really happy with this kind of solution, because compared to a primitive replace, this will work for any kind of document. It's not so sensitive of the specific form of the string in the downloaded HTML. And now what we have to do, we'll put all this in a function. Let edit HTML, and we'll why is it giving me this kind of errors? Why is it putting in tabs? Are these still tabs? They are. What the? Yeah, it's not supposed to be using tabs, but for some reason it is. Let me pause a bit so I can figure out why the editor is not behaving properly. Okay, I figured it out. Here is what I did. I just went to edit, convert indents to spaces. And after that, even if I Ctrl-Shift-Tab to dedent it and then tab it to indent it, it puts in the spaces correctly. I don't know why we had this kind of trouble. No? Yeah. Now what we have to do is open is take one of these files, open the zip, edit the HTML. This will just be using this function, and then put everything back into the zip file, and then close the zip file. Let's give that a try. Now, we covered how to open and edit zip files in the Helix series in some video. We'll do that again. .NET zip file class, system IO compression. This is a part of the inbit library. Okay, retrieving a file in the zip file. Okay, let's figure it out. Zip met. Let zip path. We'll make it something just like this. Zip. We'll hard code it in for now. Copy path reference. Path from the content root. Okay, let's do it now like this. Then using, yeah, we need to open it. Zip file open. Use zip archive. We'll import the missing references. Isn't importing them? Why isn't it? Import type, system compression zip file. System IO compression, okay. Now, okay, this is just telling me that use findings are treated as let bindings in top level modules. If we did that in a function, it would work, and we'll later move it into a function, so don't worry about that. Yeah, what we need to do is get the entry. We'll rename it to an archive. Then let's get the entry. Let entry, and no, what's the name of the entry? Okay, in this case it's this particular HTML file, but we'll have to do a search over all the entries to edit the HTML. In fact, let's do that now. For entry in archive entries, do if entry full name. Okay, let's get the full name, and then let's do something like system IO. We'll import that so we can get access to the path files, to the path, to the path class. Path is in the system IO, then get the extension based on the full name, and if that extension is something like HTML, then we'll edit the file. We don't need to get the entry. We have the entry here. Then how do we get the content of this HTML file? What is this? Maybe we can use this to overwrite the contents of the file. We'll figure that out later. The archive. Do we need to use this, or what's the type of this? Zip archive entry. Okay, so this should open the stream writer. Okay, the one way we can get the contents of zip archive entry is to just use a stream reader and then pass it the open file. let's is that the right way to do it, or is there a simpler way to do it? I don't think there is a simpler way. Maybe if we try turning it to a string. Okay, let's try that. Then we'll print it out. Print fn. Oh yeah, we need to write it all again from the top. Oh, did it actually print out anything? Well, let's print out all of these, and just so we can see what is happening. Maybe it's maybe the extension is something like .html, so that's why it didn't recognize it. Printfn a. Whoops. Oh, I see. It actually gets all the entries rather than just the one in the outermost directory. This is not something that I want right now. Okay, I did some research. We'll do what I suggested, which is to use a stream reader and then a stream writer to write everything back to the file. Let's do it. There's no need to think about this too much. Okay, let's open a stream. Use entry open. Stream writer. We need a stream reader. Let reader. Stream. Use. New. I don't think this stream is disposable, otherwise it would... Alright, it only tells us to put in the new in case we are calling the constructor directly. It is a disposable, in fact, otherwise the use wouldn't work. Okay, then we'll just read it. Reader, read to end. HTML, and then we'll pass it into the edit HTML. Use writer. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do it like this. I don't want to have both a reader and a writer on the same stream. Then we'll use the writer, new stream writer, because you know the file, the stream reader might end up locking the file, which would prevent a writer from doing anything. Okay, now we have the HTML. We just need to put it into the file. Could we... do we have any options for the... so it append... Yeah, if it... I think if you pass in the false... Stream writer path, append bool... Why doesn't the... Okay, well, let's just do it regularly. We'll see whether it overwrites it or not. Writer, write, HTML. Then what do we do next? Yeah, let me duplicate this file before we do anything else, and just copy and paste it, and this will duplicate it. Why is it asking me to undo? Cancel. Okay, now what I'm wondering is what this will do. I'm not even sure myself whether this will end up, you know, we'll do this so the archive gets closed at the end. Now I want to know. We'll have to see whether this does anything to the file inside the zip file. That's the only thing I'm wondering right now. Let's do it like this. We'll edit it, and then cannot access the file because it's used by another process. Oh yeah, this is unfortunate. Yeah, the one we had previously didn't close it. So what we'll do is somehow restart the F# interactive. How can we do this? Yeah, by clicking on this. Then let's stream was not writable. Maybe we need 2 separate streams from this. Okay, let's do it like that. Let's do it stream. Yeah, it seems like the operation finished right now. Now let's see what happened. If we go into the zip file and then edit it. Oh yeah, this actually edited it and put everything back into the zip file. I'm amazed. I think we actually did what we wanted to do for this video. Let me just let me also factor this out into a function. Let edit zip, and we'll factor this out. We'll pull this downwards. Well, let me just check out one thing. Well, we'll close this. We don't need this anymore. Yeah, what we want to do is here, and am I sure it's not adding anything to the end? For example, let's how could I figure that out? For example, let's see if it has 2 HTML tags. It doesn't. We'll also extract it and check it out. Yeah, the easiest way to check if it works is to just open it like this. Wonderful, wonderful, simply wonderful. Okay, one final check. I'll download the file again from scratch. We'll get rid of this. For some reason the copy completely failed. It ended up copying an empty file. Now, if I go back all the way here, download the file again. We'll open it in the folder. This time I'll just copy it. We'll paste it back here. Then we'll try running the script again. It finished. Let's extract it. Yeah, great. This is pretty great. There shouldn't be any duplicates. I mean, sorry, I know I'm being a bit too careful, but you can never be too careful. And indeed, it seems like this when the file is opened like this by default, it's most likely opened in the overwrite mode. I'm betting if I looked around, there should be various other modes I can open it into as well. But we got lucky this time. Okay, we'll before we end the video, we also have to go through all the, through all the images and rename them as well. That's a bit more of a difficult thing. Let's pause for a bit here, and I'll prepare and see and figure out how this could be done. Be right back. Let's resume. First, we'll do some copy pasting. We'll factor this out later, but for now, let's just do a bit of experimentation. First, let's see if we can extract all the image HTML elements from a particular HTML file. Extract images. We won't be editing the HTML. We won't even be writing it. Instead, what we'll do is just load it. In fact, let's make things a bit easier for us. Edit images. We'll just skip this last part for now. Edit images. We won't be editing the CSS or head. What we want to do here is just find all the HT image nodes. Let's see. How was it done here? Document node, select node. Okay, document, select nodes. Then how do we do this? We'll take a look at the HTML parser, HTML agility pack, HTML agility documentation. We go into the selectors, select nodes. Let's try just something like this. Image. Now we'll images. For x in images, do printfn okay, printfm outer HTML. We'll print all of that like so. Edit zip, extract images. Okay, we'll just extract the images. We'll also move this a bit lower so we can more easily follow what is going on. Okay, let's see what is going on here. Okay, we have all the images, and I think they should be in the order they appear in the file. Let's confirm that. This should be the image 21, and here it is. This should be the image 39. Yeah, and this is 39. Yeah, we can be sure that what is being printed here is in fact in the order they appear inside the HTML document. And what we want to do is rename this. So this is image 1, this is image 2, this is image 3, and so on. We also want to edit, besides renaming the files in the zip folder, we also want to rename this so it points to the correct file after the renaming. We'll do that first. What we'll do is create something like dictionary here. Let's dictionary, and this should have imported the system collections generic, and in fact it did, if you haven't seen it. The IDs are convenient like that. Then what we have to do is figure out how to rename this. How do we access the source attribute? Here we have the attributes. Let's okay, can we do something like this? Source equals QEA. Set item, index, set item name and value. This should be that. Argument value doesn't match. Oh yeah, it says it has to be the HTML attribute. Okay, how do we do the HTML attribute? HTML attribute. Okay, how can we edit this? Oops. Let's just select nodes. We'll ask the ChatGPT. How can I edit the source attribute for an image node? Okay, this is selecting the image, select the source, set right attribute, image node, set attribute value. Is it hallucinating this or not? I don't remember. I don't recall there being a set attribute value. Set. Oh, in fact, yeah, there is one. Okay, that makes things a lot easier. So let's set it to something like QEA for now. We are not writing it into the files. We don't have to worry about it messing things up. Why is it? Yeah, it's editing it. And for some reason, it's also returning an HTML attribute. We'll just ignore the output of that. Okay, great. Now, instead of renaming to something like QEA, we need to generate a new name for this. What we'll do is save the extension and get the file name without the extension. Okay, let's ext, yeah, is path get extension images x attribute get attribute value. It has a set, and so it stands to reason that it also has a get. Okay. There should be a source. We'll provide a default. Then we'll pass in the path into this. File name get file name without the extension. I'm just wondering whether this will return the full absolute path or whether this will return a file name. We need a full path. We'll print both of these out in order to make sure what is going on. Okay, we have the get file name without the extension. We have the path. We don't need the set the attribute. We just need to print the file name and the extension. Image 13, image 12. Yeah, unfortunately, it's getting the file name without the extension. Instead of doing that, we'll somehow remove the other thing from the extension from the string. Let's see. Ends with trim end. Can we trim the extension? No, we can't. Let me pause just for a bit so I can figure this out. Okay, I figured it out. I'm thinking a bit too much about this. We'll just do it from the start of the string, then path length minus the extension length. And this should get us what we want. Let's try printing it out. It also keeps the dot around. Okay, let's do it like this then. -1. Perfect. Now what we'll do is simply rename all of these. We'll have to create new entries and delete the old ones, unfortunately. The reason why I'm separating out the extension is because these images could be JPEGs or GIFs or something else. So we want to keep the extension, the exact extension around. Okay. We'll add this to the dictionary. The add file name ext this should be something else. Ext. No. Let's do the file name new. This should be something like images. We also have some kind of a counter here. Count. We'll make a counter here. Count equals 0. We'll make it. We'll do it like. Let mutable I equals 0. Fun. Let x equals I in I plus 1. I mean x. Sorry about that. Now whenever we trigger this function, it will automatically return the count and increment it. This is I like doing the counters like this, as it's more convenient than having a mutable variable in scope. Okay. Now besides this, I also want to format the count a bit. We can do it, in fact we can do it like this. To string. Now, I don't know how integer formatting is done in .NET. We'll just Google on that. .NET integer format. Where are the examples? Decimal format specifier D8. Oh, we need something like D4. Okay, let's test this out. Let T equals 123, T2 string, D. Let's put it at D6. Oh, great. Okay, we'll do it then like D4 inside there. Let me also just erase this. Great. Now we have exactly what we want for the file count. What we'll do is it's taking the whole path and rename it to something like this. Let's see what the result of that is. Something like, we'll put it like image. Oops, sorry about that. We'll rename it. We rename the source to file name plus extension. Okay, we'll do that like ext path new. In fact, okay, let's run this. Yeah, we aren't doing something correctly. We probably aren't triggering the counter as a function, so it's just printing the function name. Let's do it again. Great. This is perfect. The reason why I'm putting in the decimals, because if you look inside the images folder and sort it by name, you'll see that it says image 1, then image 10. So we want this to be 0, 1 instead. Now this should set the attribute value. Can we print out the image node somehow? Outer HTML. Let's print out the outer HTML for this. Oh, great. This is perfect. Now we have all of this inside the dictionary. And we'll have to return the dictionary itself back, along with the change HTML document. Okay, now HTML doc. This should be inside the other one. We're returning it like this, so we should do that here as well. No, not here. Here. Oh yeah, it turns out we don't need the file name at all. Now we also need the dictionary. It's a string. This should be a dictionary of string to string. These are the new file names. And what we have to do using this is rename all the entries. Let's do that now. We'll write out the change HTML. But before we do that, we need to rename all the images. Or actually, maybe do we have to do that here, or can we do that in the outer layer? Let's do that here. Let's go over all the entries. Oh no, I don't like doing it like this. Instead of doing it like this, we'll make a dictionary here. Then we'll just pass it in. Then everything is fine. We don't need to return it anymore. We do need to provide an annotation. Why is this giving me an error? Yeah, it's probably because it's expecting the dictionary to be returned. And this is okay. We won't write anything out just yet. Actually, we will, but instead, no, we won't. Instead, we'll go over the dictionary right now. Key value kv in d do. And this is the old path. This should be the new path. That or maybe why is it whoops, the name was wrong. Now it's string. Now it's string as well. Now path new. Now we'll go over all of these, then we'll go archive, get entry name is path, and what we need to do now is copy it. Entry copy. Is there some way we can extract it to file, or maybe not? Could we copy the entry? Okay, let's take a look at the Stack Overflow answer. .NET zip file rename. Rename a file in .NET. No, not this. This isn't very elegant, unfortunately, but we don't have much choice. Let's create a new entry then. Let entry new archive create entry path new entry copy. Can we not copy it? Oh, we need to first open them. Okay, we'll open them. Use a equals entry open. Use b equals entry open. A copy to b. Whoops. This should be entry new. And I think this should also be used as well, maybe, or not. In fact, we can just add. Yeah, now it's nice and succinct. We can. Was there anything else? Yeah, we need to delete the old entry. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's undo this. Entry delete. Great. Now, let's see whether this works. In fact, yeah, this could end up, you know, if another file like this exists. I mean, if we do the renaming and try to running this on the renamed file, I think creating a new entry with an existing name might throw an error. We'll see how that goes. For now, let's just try running this, and we'll in fact do the output. If you're lucky, this should all work on the first try. Let's see it. Have we gotten rid of the print statements? Yes, we did. Okay, great. Cannot delete an entry currently open for writing. Okay, can... File mode open, file access read write, zip mode archive. Yeah, the entry itself is perhaps open for writing. Can we... let me pause it just a bit so I can figure this out. Let's see if this works. The only thing I've changed is constructed the zip archive directly by passing it the file stream, which is opened in the read-write mode. I'm not sure whether this is what the problem was. Let's try it. Again, we have this kind of problem. Okay, let me pause again. Okay, I figured it out. Here's what we need to do. Just do this. Most unlikely. I haven't tested it. We'll do that right now. Object reference is not set to an instance of the object. Extract images. Where is that? 93. Okay, let me pause again. Let's print out the paths and the new paths. Print fn path new. Oh, this right. The reason why this is happening is because most likely we already renamed the HTML, but we didn't rename the files, so it got stuck inside the old thing. Okay, we'll do this. We'll have to go into the folder and copy it again. That's why I didn't cut it like last time, just in case something bad happened. Let's try it again. Now, if we look at this, yeah, all the images have been renamed. Now, let's try extracting it. Alright, I forgot to also do the style editing. But images themselves, yeah, now they're pointing in the correct into the correct file. And if you go into the folder, you can extract. You could take these files in this folder and then upload it to something like Imgur on a file hosting site, and be sure that the files will appear in the same order as they are in the document. And this is something that's pretty good for me if I want to upload to some image hosting site in the future. We've met this goal. What we want to do now is what I want to do now is try maybe running it again, just to see what happens. We should get an exception, no doubt. Did it actually work? That's surprising. Well, we didn't get an exception. It copied the file to itself just fine, it seems. Oh, not bad. I'm happy with this. We can extract the images. Okay, we'll rename this to rename images. Do we want to do some kind of abstraction? Yeah, we should do some abstracting, perhaps. Okay, let's go for the final touch. We'll rename this as edit template, edit zip template, zip path, and we'll pass in a function here. We move this here. Instead of edit HTML here, we'll do an F. Then why is this giving me an error? This should be okay. We'll put it in put an annotation that this should be a string, and that this should be edit HTML, and this should be a zip path. We'll move this down. Then we'll move the dictionary up. We'll make use of the template. Edit images. D. Zip path. Oops, not that. Zip path. And this, yeah, this returns a unit. Yeah, this also unfortunately closes the archive a bit too soon. But what we could do is just open it again. I mean, who cares? Oh no, we should preserve the archive. The archive should be closed last of all. Let's do another round of abstraction. Edit zip template. We'll copy this once more. We'll move just the archive. and then f archive. No. Let me think about this for a bit. Okay, I'm thinking about this a bit too much. There isn't really a need to think about it that deeply. Okay, let's just do G archive. Great. Now we have everything we need. We should just ignore the archive here, but over here let's rename images. Let's rename archive. Zip archive. We'll also name this rename images. There's something like that. Okay. Now, I mean, maybe there's a more elegant way of doing this. For example, that maybe we could have just factor this out as an iteration, and then, you know, okay, let me show you how we can factor this out in another way. This is just as an exercise. Let's iterate entries, archive, zip archive. We'll also pass in this f function. Then we can iterate over the entries, like f. Oh yeah, I mean, we also can forget to pass in the archive. We'll remove the G. And we'll in fact do it like this, something like this. In the zip template, then in edit images, iterate entries. Here, now you can see what I'm aiming for here. We can just do functional composition like that to get what we had before. Then edit zip. Alright, instead of doing this now, edit zip template, we have edit images, iterate entries. Oh, this is just the one part. We also need to pass in, we also need to do it archive. We can do it like this, archive, then rename images archive. And this is basically the same thing as what we had before. Which one do you think is cleaner? Post in the comments. Now what should we do next? Yeah, let's try running it. yeah, we just have the rename images here. We also need to edit the zip. Okay. Let's do it. Edit zip. Okay. File. And this should all be done while the archive is still open. So what we have to do is perhaps this. We have to do everything in one fell swoop. This should be like so. Iterate entries, edit HTML. Dictionary. I will make this edit all. Edit all. How is this giving me? Yeah, we should be, or maybe we shouldn't. We should be passing the D here. And the iterate entries needs to be passed in the archive. And then we can just use edit all. We'll do everything all at once. Okay, I really like this. Let's move on to testing. Why is it printing this? Do we still have a print somewhere? Print. Oh yeah, we need to remove this one. Let's see what we have in the file. In fact, let's erase it, then go back. Then we'll go into the folder, copy it, paste it back in here. Then we'll run it from the top. I think it finished. If you look at the images, they're from 0 to the end. Then let's extract this. Great. Now everything is perfect. As you can see, the maximum width of the text is now 1080 pt. The padding has been removed. The images have been ordered properly, and we are doing all this without having to do anything manually. The script just enters the zip file, edits it, and then closes everything. And this should be it for this video. If you like this stream, please like and subscribe, as it helps me grow the channel. And since this was a pretty quick thing, I think I'll maybe do a fast version of it from the scratch with everything edited out, so it can be shown in like something like 5 minutes. And in the following videos, what I will do is start the stage functional programming in Spiral playlist. This will be a playlist on the programming language that I've worked on for many years by myself, and we'll do some interesting machine learning stuff in that, and as well as program GPUs and various other things. I hope you stay tuned for that. See you in the next video.